just one division left, and it is the best division in the NFL. Hello, Commanders. Automatic Gamer here, and welcome to the final predictions for the upcoming NFL season, the NFC North, and the best division in the NFL, and probably maybe the most competitive. Who knows? If you guys have a differing opinion, tell me below in the comments what you think the most competitive division is in the NFL. And let's get into it. First off, let's start out with the three-time offseason champions, the Chicago Bears. And, well, for the offseason champions, Caleb Williams, his first year went, I think, 4-13 or 5-12. He didn't have he didn't have a horrible year. I mean, sure, they didn't win the division, thought they were going to be really good, but then things happened, and then, but yeah, Caleb ended the season, or went into the middle of the season, started out, he did pretty good as being drafted and being like, okay, maybe this guy can be good, and sure, he struggled a little bit here and there, but people say the struggles are a good thing for a team, especially for a first-year quarterback going for Caleb Williams into going for him to be in his second year now, for him to have struggles. But I would say that's fine, especially with how they did with this season coming into this next season. And now with, of course, a new head coach in Ben Johnson, so they should thank the Lions for that one, being like he was their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator went to the Jets, of course. And, well, there's going to be some changes and perhaps some growing pains. But, of course, there's no more Matt Eberflus. So, of course, with the Bears, the good thing is hopefully they're not going to have to worry about timeout issues anymore, especially with Matt Eberflus. When that Lions game did happen last year with the Lions and the Bears, when they did not call a timeout last year when they should have done. So Ben Johnson can hopefully fix that main issue on the Bears, and also can hopefully get Caleb Williams some more protection. And, of course, in the first round of the NFL draft, they did go with a tight end, and they did make some moves for some offensive line for protection for Caleb Williams, and also did get a wide receiver so they could have more depth at throwing the ball. So they went on to win the third straight offseason championship that they had, and also they beat the Bears. I mean, the Bears beat the Packers. Caleb Williams' first time at Lambeau Field, so, yeah, they can have that fun, and Packers fans were like, oh, yeah, that happened, and they were just like, oh, that happened since 2018. Since 2018. But, yeah, they won the Super Bowl last year, they won the offseason, and everything's going to look up for the Bears, and, yeah, I'm just getting excited for what's going to happen Monday Night Football, because we all know what's going to happen. Vikings-Bears, Vikings win. We all know that's going to happen. I mean, I'm sorry, Caleb Williams. I'm sorry, Ben Johnson. But, yeah, we all know that's going to happen. But I'll dive more into that game later when I get to the Week 1 predictions for those videos. And next, going into the Detroit Lions. And the Lions got the 1 seed from us, and they ended up on the same place and same couch as all the other NFC North teams. So what was the point of getting the 1 seed if you're just getting bounced by Wildflower and the Commanders? Oh, hey there! Well, thank you anyway, so we can enjoy our offseason. But yeah, the Lions. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn no longer on the team, so we got to see how good of a coach Dan Campbell really is. They had a great season last year. Of course, Jared Goff is still one of the best quarterbacks, unless he's throwing all these interceptions against the Texans, or all the interceptions against the Commanders in that divisional round, and being like, okay, I'm not going to be the greatest QB in those games, or I'm not going to be as consistent. And I mean, of course, he's a good quarterback. Jared Goff is, and he can run the ball and, of course, play it really well and throw it really well downfield so he can get a ton of yards. And he's got a few good amount of weapons. Of course, he's got Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's got and And of course, he's got a trio of wide receivers. He's got great defense, Jahmyr Gibbs, and also, oh shoot, who was his other teammate that he had? Oh, I can't think of it. Somebody tell me who is his other. Oh wait, I think I remember now. Other than the sun god Amit Ross that he had for a wide receiver that he had. But of course, they had a phenomenal year last year. Of course, winning the division and getting that 1 seed, I'm still kind of upset about, but also not really because of what happened in that divisional round. And then, of course, they have a very good defense, and of course, they're going to play against the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, and it's going to be Aaron Rodgers uniting with Kirby Joseph, and we usually know how that goes, and it'd be really funny for that game if the Lions got embarrassed. And of course, yeah, with the Lions, with the offseason, it was good, but it also wasn't the greatest because, they didn't steal a draft pick from the Packers, which they usually do. So the Packers aren't really going to be that angry at the Lions anymore, which is fine. They hate the Lions more than they hate the Vikings, so that's good. We're just a thorn on their side, but I'll get to them pretty soon. But yeah, they didn't steal a draft pick from the Packers, which the Packers love to have that happen. And also, yeah, they did not draft an edge rusher in the draft, which is interesting. They went with some offense and they went with defense, but they did not go with edge rusher. And they just added to the trenches with their offense, their interior offense and their defense, but no edge rusher. And also, it's going to hurt also that Frank Ragnow for the Detroit Lions retired, which is going to hurt them. And also their coordinators are gone. So we got to see how good Dan Campbell really is with a few of these. Still a good team, but he's still missing a few pieces here and there with potentially new coordinators coming in very soon as they play week 1 against the Packers, which is going to be a hell of a divisional game. So yeah, they didn't have the greatest offseason, and I can honestly see the Lions maybe taking a little bit of a step back, a little regression this season, especially without their coordinators and a little bit of a team that is missing a few pieces here and there. So I could see them having a little regression. So that'll be interesting coming into them with the Lions coming into this season. And who knows, I mean, what we're going to get out of them. They're still going to probably be a good team, but I'm not certain. But yeah, there's probably going to be growing pains with new coordinators coming on with the offense and defensive side of the ball. And of course, new players and everything. And Dan Campbell trying to run everything with Jared Goff to see how everything's going to turn out. So it's going to be an interesting year for the Lions. And yeah, they're going to have an interesting year. And also, now to go on with the Green Bay Packers. And also, they did something for the first time in 23 years, drafting a wide receiver in the first round in Matthew Golden. And also drafting another wide receiver and getting some more offensive line for Jordan Love. And then, of course, also getting some defense. And I don't know if they got secondary help, but I'm not certain about that. I hope they didn't. Because their defense, yes, could be improved, but also Jair Alexander is gone. He went to the Ravens. He went to the other purple team. He didn't go to the Vikings. I would have taken him if they offered him to us. But they also just got Micah Parsons from the Cowboys. So, one, how about them Cowboys? And also, they just let go of a wide receiver. So, why would they do that? And also, most importantly, Tom Grassi announced a draft pick in the NFL draft for the Packers in the 7th round. So, that was awesome, huge. That was great for him, 10 years in the making. So, I'm really happy for him. And well, just him, not so much for his team because I hate the Packers, but yeah. And yeah, also, yeah, they're going to be a little bit angry towards the Bears because obviously they're the number 1 rivals that they hate in the NFC North, but also that Week 18 matchup where the Packers did lose to the Bears, barring that field goal that they did not block and nearly got swept by the entire NFC North, which I think was pretty funny. And, well, yeah, for the Packers, you got, of course, their quarterback, and their coordinators and their coach, which isn't bad. Of course, there's no more Joe Barry on the Packers squad for their defensive coordinator, which makes me sad every time. I think he was doing a great job for the Green Bay Packers, and yeah, I just miss him. And Joe Barry, to me, I mean, he did great for the Packers. He did a phenomenal job. No one could did what he did for the Green Bay Packers. So if they brought Joe Barry back, I would be so happy because he did a great job for Green Bay. And also they still have Jordan Love, which you got part of the fan base that's a part of the fan base, like a small amount that says, oh, he can be a good quarterback. He is our franchise guy. And then you got another part of the fan base saying he's decent. We should, I don't know, keep him, see how he goes. And then also you got another part of the fan base who's just saying like, oh, he's not the greatest quarterback, and should we keep shopping around for another QB or not? But also, they did pay him a ton of money, and also he could also be their guy. But again, well, there's times that he can be good, but also he can be inconsistent, and of course, well, who knows if they're going to be shopping around for another quarterback or not. But yeah, that's interesting on how the Packers are going to go. But yeah. And now to move on to the best team in the NFC North. And you're saving the best team for last. You got the Minnesota Vikings. Skol Vikings, let's go. This is going to be a good year for us, just like last year. But also, people said, especially Tom Grassi, they said we were going to suck. And we, as the Vikings, and Kevin O'Connell said, we are going to blow your minds out of the water. And we did. We had Sam Darnold, and of course, everyone thought with Sam Darnold on his fourth team, I think, he said we were gonna be so bad, but hell, we did it. 14 wins, only like 2-3 losses, and yeah, we could have won the division barring that one Lions and that Rams game. But hey, it was still a good season regardless of us losing those last games and having to go to LA and having to fight the Rams, but it was still a fun season. And of course, I think my favorite part of the season was that Week 4 match and that Week 17 match against the Green Bay Packers, where we just destroyed the absolute crap out of them and just beat them at their house and also our house. So that was pretty fun, and that was probably my favorite part of the season. And I think being like, well, we hired a quarterback. Of course, Sam Darnold. He went to the Seattle Seahawks, and also, yeah, that doesn't necessarily matter because, well, one, Kevin O'Connell is a hell of a good coach because he knew how to use him right, and also our GM Kwesi Dofamensa. I do believe in them because they made great moves, not only in free agency but also could have been a little bit better in the draft, but it was still a good draft. Bringing in Donovan Jackson, our first overall pick, being a guard that we got, and also adding to the trenches with some offensive line, some more guard on our left and right tackle, and also some defense, especially in the secondary with adding Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okuda, and also adding Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, and of course bringing back the trios, of wide receivers of Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, barring though I think we're going to see him in hopefully week 2, barring that suspension that he had, and bring back, of course, Adam Thielen, which I hope we see week 1 because I'm really excited to see him come onto the field after, bringing him back from the Carolina Panthers. And of course, he can be a good quarterback even though he is getting older, but I think he's got a few good years left in the tank of good football, so that's great. And of course, we have Jalen Naylor, who did have a hand injury but should be reporting for week 1. And Justin Jefferson was injured, but he apparently healed up like he's had nothing happen to him, so he's going to be great and back for week 1. And then, of course, we also did address our cornerback room, like I said, so I don't have to have nightmares about our secondary anymore, thank goodness. And our defensive line should be much, much better. Our secondary is still going to be great. Our offensive line is going to be great. We have our good wide receivers. We have our head coach. We have our offense and defensive coordinators, which I love. And especially, we are going to be hopefully primed and ready to compete for that division and hopefully beat the Lions. And yeah, hopefully, well, I think JJ McCarthy, most importantly, all of the eyes for Vikings fans are going to be on, of course, JJ McCarthy, but of course, he's going to have help, especially with Kevin O'Connell, with our offense and defensive coordinators, and also all of the talent that we have on this team for our offense, our wide receivers, our defense, our running backs, especially with like Aaron Jones and everyone like that. So there's not going to be, I don't really think, any problems with JJ McCarthy, even if it takes him some time to adapt to everything. But he's got a great supporting amount of players to help him out. So he's going to be adapting like that, hopefully. So he's not going to be hopefully to worry about the other side of the ball for any team, especially with the division rivals, which is going to be tough games anyway. But yeah, so yeah, JJ McCarthy, I think he can be our guy because everything that was shown in preseason last year and this year, he looked promising. Like I know he's going to be good. Like I have faith in him, and I'm sure every single other Vikings fan does too. Like that he can be good. So I have complete faith in JJ McCarthy, and well, yeah, he's going to be good. So I'm really excited for the season. I'm super excited for Monday Night Football next week against the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. And that game, I think it's going to be really, really fun to watch. So that's my predictions on the final division of the NFC North. I will be releasing a predictions for week 1 in a couple days from now. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and also join my Discord. The link will be in the description if you want to talk more football. And I just can't wait for the season to start. And also, I will see you on the football field, Commanders.